Hello everyone, welcome again to the Diaspora Voice. My name is Chris Omalwa. It's my pleasure to host you again. And today in our studios we have one of Kenyan's best here in the US. I have Mr. Jack Ambuka, all the way from State College in Pennsylvania. Jack has traveled almost 4 hours to come and be on the show. Yes. Jack, welcome to the Diaspora Voice.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's my pleasure to be here.
I'm excited to have you, Jack. I've tried to catch you for quite some time now.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy to have you on this show, especially at this time when there's so much going on.
Yes.
Especially back at home where we come from.
Yes.
So, Jack, we're going to talk about a wide range of issues.
Mm-hmm.
But just we held our elections, the nominations last week.
Yeah.
Give us a sense of how we did as a country.
Well, first of all, I have to say that the nominations that Kenya just concluded a couple of days ago, it was a disaster. A disaster in the sense that, this is a country which gained independence about 5 decades ago. But you see, right now, it just concluded a nomination that a friend of mine called it democracy, not democracy. Instead of us having a democratic process whereby the will of the people will be sustained, we had a process in which the will of the wheeler dealers, those who are in power, prevailed. People really wanted their voices to be heard. Unfortunately, the logistical preparedness was so way below the average. And as a result, we saw what happened. All political parties were not prepared. From Code Alliance to Jubilee Alliance to Amani to all these alliances, we really didn't see a level of preparedness that we who live here in the United States are used to seeing.
Jack, thank you for that brief. There's some emerging issues that are playing out there right now as we speak. When I was coming to this show, when I was driving, I was checking my phone, and I was following the conversation on Facebook and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a debate in Kenya between Titu and Dr. Kidero.
Yes.
Very interesting conversation, things going on. Give us your reactions to how the debate went.
Well, debates went really well. I was also following what was transpiring in Kenya through social media. And we saw how the fight, so to speak, between Dr. Kidero and Waititu went. And unfortunately, and I have to say that Dr. Kidero has to really change his game in order to beat Mr. Waititu. Mr. Waititu apparently is a people person. He has these skills to appeal to the masses. And not only that, he has the ability to reach to where the man on the ground, the disenfranchised person is. And he uses this language that really connects. It's a language that doesn't make sense in the world of education, the world of knowledge. And that's where I think Kidero is coming from. He's a doctor. He has a degree. He has a PhD, and he's a well-educated man. On the show, someone surprisingly said that Dr. Kidero was actually condescending to Waititu. What that means is Kidero is an elitist, an elite guy trying to bring on board the same old tired politics. You see, most of our politicians are elites. They are lawyers, they are doctors, they are everything we want a society to be. Unfortunately, they are not communicating a language that an ordinary person can hear. And this is where Waititu might beat Dr. Kidero. Waititu goes to the man in the slum area, and he says, you know what, we are not going to allow land grabbers to grab our land. And that's the language the common man in the slum want to hear. Waititu is going to the ground saying that we do not want our land to be taken. We want a water system to be something to be done about it. You know, those are issues, you know, that really a common mwananchi want to hear. So I think, in my opinion, Dr. Kidero has to really change his game in order to beat Waititu. And as a matter of fact, you see, a governor is supposed to be a manager, someone with knowledge, someone who is able to oversee billions and billions of shillings that will be given to the Nairobi County. And that's now where Waititu falls short. He lacks leadership in terms of articulating issues, conceiving an idea, or rather coming up with issue-oriented campaign that can transform the city, because the city of Nairobi is the Kenyan capital, and it needs someone who is able to say, well, we have joblessness in this city, we have slum problem in this city, what are we going to do to transform this city?
Just following up on the same thing that you're talking about, I hear people say that there was the Kisumu and Nyanza spring.
Yeah.
The way people reacted, first of all, the way people close to Raila Odinga lost. What does that speak to the current situation obtaining in Nyanza?
Well, the Nyanza situation is a situation whereby the people of Luo Nyanza are saying we are tired with the way politics have been done since the beginning of the country. So what they are saying in essence is that we need a change. And they have shown that, you know, people who are so close to Raila Odinga have been shown the door, so to speak. They have been told, you know, you did not perform in the parliament, you did not connect with us on the ground level, and we are tired of you. Some people have said this is a revolt against Raila Odinga, and to some extent I tend to agree, and this is how my opinion as far as that. Raila Odinga is a man who inherited the kingdom, so to speak, of his father. And he has been the undisputed king of Luo Nyanza. And his word is almost like the law. Unfortunately, his word isn't working right now in Luo Nyanza. We have seen people who are so close to him, including his brother Oburu Odinga. You know, his situation is still in limbo. One William Oduor is presenting a very difficult situation for Oburu Odinga. But also we have seen Ruth Odinga, who is the sister to Raila Odinga. You know, these are people you will expect under normal circumstances to sail through successfully. But wait, there's a challenge. The people of Luo Nyanza have sounded a trumpet, and I call this the Lake Victoria Spring, which in essence is saying that we need a change. And I truly believe that Raila Odinga will listen to the people of Nyanza and say, I have heard your voice, I know you want change, and I will respect your opinion.
Fahari yetu, undugu ndio nguvu, chuki na ukabila hatutaki hata kamwe. lazima tuungane, tuijenge nchi yetu, pasiwe hata mmoja anayetenganisha. Naishi na tumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Mkenya, mwananchi mzalendo.
In view of this, the Lake Victoria Spring, what people are saying is that it's exposed Raila's underbelly, so to speak. Do you think it threatens his presidency?
Well, I don't think this threatens his presidency. It will, however, depend on how Raila Odinga will deal with it. Two things. Number one, Raila Odinga has to embrace the spring, the Lake Victoria Spring, and say, I have heard what the people of Nyanza have said, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. Which is, it seems that the people of Nyanza are saying that we are tired of the people who hang on the court of Raila to further their personal interests. You see, Jacoyo Midiwo, who really knew that him being a cousin to Raila will have a difficult time reclaiming his seat. But as we speak, the people of Nyanza have said, you know, we do not want those people who just hang around Raila, yet they don't emancipate the Nyanza from economic slavery, so to speak. Because people of Nyanza, and I dare say most of them are poor, yet they get shepherded into voting a certain way. And that's just, it's not exclusively to Nyanza. It is a sorry state of our politics, Kenyan politics. They tend to be more tribal instead of issue-oriented. So my take is that the Lake Victoria Spring will not affect Raila presidency. But first of all, he has to embrace the spring and use it as a spring or as a board to move to the bigger place, which is the State House, the State House.
At the national level, Jack, the battle lines are drawn. We know the leading contenders.
Yes.
The question that many people are asking right now as we speak is that what will be the implications of electing Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, people who have been indicted by the International Criminal Court? What will be the implications to the country, most specifically?
And you see, this is where our media has failed to shape the opinion, to actually shape an agenda for Kenya. You see, most of them, they tend to go around the issue of ICC. They do not face it directly and say, Kenyans, listen, this is the implications of electing the Jubilee Coalition, which is spearheaded by Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, both indicted by the ICC. You see, these people, if elected in the office, in my opinion, I believe that Kenya will have so much to lose. Number one, and we just saw that recently, the UK ambassador to Kenya, though he did not explicitly say that they will not deal with the ICC indicted fellas, he kind of insinuated that United Kingdom doesn't cooperate, doesn't talk to, doesn't associate themselves with the people who are facing crimes against humanity. And that is not just a social statement, that is an economical statement. We will see a situation whereby UK doesn't want to do business with Kenya. We will also see a situation whereby United States of America doesn't want to do bilateral trade between the two countries. And that is not just going to affect Uhuru presidency, but it's going to affect the ordinary person, because the economy will be in shambles. And that's just one. Number two, we will see a situation whereby Uhuru Kenyatta cannot interact with international community. And you see, we can never have a president who can only be acceptable within Africa or some countries in Africa. The world these days is a global village. There can never be an enclave whereby you retreat in and begin to transact business. No, the world is a global village. A president has to open up to other countries and relate. But as far as ICC is concerned, someone who has been indicted cannot, freely interact with the international community. And my take is that I suspect, and this is just my own opinion, Uhuru is laying a foundation whereby he might disobey the summonses from ICC. And that will even make a bad situation worse. He will be an international fugitive. And we don't want that kind of situation. My appeal to Jubilee Coalition, and especially Uhuru Kenyatta, is that he should put the interests of Kenya first. Shelve his ambition. And 2018 is not too far. The ICC will have rendered their verdict. And from there, Uhuru Kenyatta can now make a definitive decision on whether he can or cannot run for president.
Welcome back. This is the Diaspora Voice, and today we are hosting Mr. Jack Ambuka from State College in Pennsylvania. We are discussing a wide range of issues, especially the political situation in Kenya. We are barely weeks away from the general elections, and the Kenyan elections are very special interest to the diaspora. And Jack, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk briefly about, on the 4th of next month, we'll have elections. Elections will come and go. And then suddenly we'll wake up in the morning and realize we have all these people elected. Especially, I'm very concerned about the creation of the devolution of power in the new constitution, because if you look at the Kenyan constitution, it borrows quite a lot from the US constitution.
Yeah.
We're going to have all these layers of power. As a country, as Kenya, first, do we have resources to maintain the wage bill?
First of all, I have to say that we have a new constitution, which is a fantastic thing. Unfortunately, Mr. Chris, the offices that were created by our new constitution are unsustainable. For example, I have argued, I have a Facebook page that I run, that I administer. It's called Bunyore Discussion Board. And I argued once there that, senator position doesn't really make sense in this economic dispensation. I call it economic dispensation because it is a position that Kenyans will have to pay so much, yet in my opinion, it will be doing so little. Devolution really created a good unit, which are counties, and these counties will be directly under the governor. So governor should have been the main guy down there on the county level, and under him will be a council, and that council will be will be attended by representatives from all counties. And that in itself is enough to take care of the county issues. But now we have another guy in between here whose name will be a senator. In my opinion, a senator will do very little to change the situation, the economic situation of the county. So we are yet to see. You see, we are still trying to implement the constitution. So the first thing should be, let's implement the constitution, elect people who have the passion to implement the constitution, and then we will take it from there. See, what do we really need? What are our priorities? Implement those priorities, and what are some of the things that we do not need, and then see how can we amend the constitution from there. But as far as I'm concerned, devolution is a great thing. We have seen how here in the United States, devolution has sparked economic growth. You know, in the United States we have units, you have states, and under those states we have counties. And each county is liable. It has its own budget and it has its own priorities. So my prayer, and this is another quagmire, if we are not careful, we will enter in. My prayer is that the people on the county level will elect smart, articulate, goal-oriented governors that will have a passion to articulate economic issues and how to change the situation on the county level, because as you know, Mr. Chris, most of our counties are very poor. People there cannot afford 2 meals a day.
Because of time, I know you're traveling back to State College, and it's quite a distance, so I'll let you go. But I think it will be very important for us to come back soon after the elections, to come back and talk about this, because yes, I foresee a situation where this is going to be an issue, and the people back at home can benefit from experiences of people like you know, who have lived here and who have seen how to implement these layers of the constitution. Viewers, we've been talking to Jack Ambuka from State College in Pennsylvania. Jack has a wide range of experience in the politics of both the US and Kenya. For those Kenyans who are planning to go and vote, the first thing is that please turn out and vote. Those just don't just listen, don't just watch people taking positions, and after the elections you start complaining that we got the wrong leader, when you have the capacity to change the leadership of Kenya. Kenya is at a critical point where we can't afford to make another mistake. We made one mistake, 2 mistakes will be inexcusable. This has been the Diaspora Voice, and I'm your host, Chris Omalwa. I'll see you in the next episode.